It doesn't even smell good. It's not past date. There's got to be a better option, though. So let's see what we can turn these into. Welcome back. Today we are going to take some of the produce that we have left over from last year's garden. We've dried this. Now you can dehydrate it in a dehydrator, but there are low-tech options too. We actually just spread these out on a cookie sheet and we've let them dry naturally. These are peppers that we grew, bunch of different varieties in here. And then these are the bulbs from our Egyptian walking onions. These are some fresh ones that I just harvested that aren't dry yet. So if you wanted to make onion paste, or I thought about using these like you would use like pearl onions. But today we're going to focus on making our own, basically a chili powder and an onion powder. I'm going to tag a low-tech, cheap, easy to store dehydrator that doesn't use any electricity that you could use if you were interested in that. But other than that, the only other thing that I'm using is a food processor. While this one is not that price, I got it off of Facebook Marketplace, so I did not pay what it would be on Amazon. But we have gotten our kids little like apartment size food processors, and we paid like 20 or 30 bucks for Christmas presents for them. So there's options for that too. We're going to start out with the onions because onion potentially contaminating chili is a lot more forgivable than chili potentially contaminating onion as far as flavor. But we also have pepper allergies in our family, so we need the onions to be safe for that. I'm just going to dump these in, skins and all. These are very dry. And now I got some runaways. So I'm going to start out just by pulsing it to get them to start. Now I've heard that these are more potent than regular onions even. It's actually processing it down pretty good. So we're going to try switching to the blender and see if it'll grind it down further. It smells like super potent and fresh, and let's take a look again, see if we're getting anywhere. Definitely getting there. From what I've been told, the onion peels is where the flavor is, which is crazy because what do we take off and throw away? But like in Depression times, that was what they saved and used for making their soups and their stews and stuff, was those skins, so that they imparted the flavor. All their peelings, all of peel a carrot, it goes in. I think a lot of it's staticking to the sides too. But this just shows why it benefits you to process the stuff. It's why we're gonna go through the freezers and why we're gonna get stuff out and taken care of before the new harvest comes off. It's because even though this was a small amount, I mean, it was only this, look at what it is now. Growing your own stuff and processing it, like for example, tomato paste. You know how many tomatoes it takes to make tomato paste? You have a whole new understanding of how much produce goes into the things we take for granted. Ketchup, tomato paste, onion powder. So I'm going to call that done. Clean this out real quick. We're going to start with the food processor again with the chilies, just because of the volume of them. I think it'll do a good job breaking them down. And I'll be right back with that. Okay, so now that we have reset and cleaned stuff up, I'm going to move on to the chilies, the peppers. Every year we try to plan for something to be the bumper crop. One year it could be peppers, another year it could be tomatoes. Some years we plant corn and put up enough that we can use it for several years. Some years it's beans. You get the picture. Last year was peppers. And I have already gone through and pulled out any that didn't look good. I've trimmed the tops off of them. You can pull the seeds out of these, but if you like to live on the dangerous side, we're leaving the seeds in. So I'm gonna put these in and start breaking them down. We may have to also put them in the blender. We'll see how it breaks down. It might not be as bad because they're not as thin and fluffy as the onion skins were. They just wanted to fly everywhere. So I'm gonna get some of these in, and you can hear how dry they are. But they are bone dry. And these just sat out on a cookie sheet in our desert air and dried. Now there is a variety. I basically planted any peppers that we found, any varieties, because we bought these all as starts. Peppers are hard to grow in our area because we stay cold late. We do have a fairly decent growing season, but we always have to plant starts. We can't plant these from seed outside. I may fit the whole thing in here. Look at all of those colors. That's gonna be flavor packed.
Mm-hmm.
Now hopefully we don't mix some napalm here. Now with both the onions and the peppers, if you wanted to make a paste, you would just do them not fully dried. But because we want to do them as a powder, they need to be completely, fully dried. Like some of the onions were so dry, I was like, is there anything left to them? Is it just skins? Oh, we may regret this. It's actually breaking down pretty decently though. Do we dare open it yet? Okay, wish me luck. Oh, look at the color of that.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even get my nose near that. It got in my throat and choked me. This is potent. So make sure when you're using it to cook, you don't use your normal amount because we will all die. And I'm not just talking about your Scottish candy. We know it was going to be potent, but Gonna get as close as I did last time. I wasn't kidding when I said hopefully I don't make napalm. If you can put these in a dehydrator or put onions in the dehydrator, your house is going to reek and you're not going to be able to breathe. Luckily, I listened to others on that one and learned from their mistakes. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer the onions to the jar. And then it goes all over the place. My counter was clean and cleaned multiple times. Okay, now that I've got the onions like broken down and out of this container. So now that the whole household is sneezing and has runny noses, we're gonna continue grinding this chili powder. Even our kids that like hot stuff are like, my nose, like it gets in your sinuses and it just hangs on. So be forewarned about that. Well-ventilated area. So we're gonna run this through the blender like we did the onions to see if we can get the seeds to grind up more. Right now it looks like pepper flakes. Look at the color of that though. I wish we were hamming this up. This is seriously potent. See how nice that's grinding up. That just broke it right down. We're gonna do just a little bit more because I still see some seeds that I want to grind, but that worked really well. What all would you use chili powder for cooking, John? This would be good in fajitas.
Yeah, pretty much it.
With the meat.
Yeah.
That broke
That's
down
awesome.
nice.
A year easy.
Is that gonna fit in the jar I have for it? Okay, hold your breath. My nose is burning. We were joking about making napalm or sinus flush or any of that, but seriously, like we cannot stress this enough. This stuff is potent. It's almost perfect amount.
Yeah.
Now we gotta get the label maker out. I definitely think these are worth trying to do again. Seriously, even the dogs are sneezing and snorting and carrying on. Like, it is pretty Now, keep in mind, this is dark chili powder. White onions versus the red onions of the little walking onions that we used. The cool thing about walking onions, I don't know if I mentioned this before, they're a perennial onion. Like, you plant them once and that's it. You've got them forever. And they're a really cool plant because they grow up this stalk. You can use the greens, you can use the bulbs in the ground, or what we were using today are the little bulbs that grow on top of the stalks. And once those get big enough, that stalk bends over and those will actually plant. And that's why they say it walks, because you're constantly moving across your beds. But you can use every part of the plant depending upon what use you want. These little bulbs that grow at the top are supposed to be a more pungent, heavier onion flavor. So that's why I wanted to use those for the onion powder. You can use the bulbs in the ground like you can use onions or green onions. And then the greens of the plant, you can use like green onions also, or like chives or that kind of thing. They're a prepper's dream plant, really, because it's a plant at once, let it do its thing, and you can use every part of the plant. I hope that you enjoyed as we start working through and processing stuff from previous harvests in preparation for our new harvest. In future videos, we're going to be going through the freezers. I don't know about you, but my chest freezers are where things go to be forgotten. I swear there's like a portal and they just disappear. I don't know what's in there anymore. So we're going to go through that, and anything that we find that we can process and get out of the freezers, we're going to be doing, again, in preparation for this next year's harvest. We've also drawn out for deer hunt. Hopefully we'll be successful in that, and those can go in the freezer, and maybe even bottling some of it, which we haven't tried before. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, leave us comments. Have you tried this? Did you about kill yourself with this stuff too? Are we even gonna be able to use this? Is it gonna be a pinch goes a long way? We'll catch you next time.